Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today we are meeting with Andria Pinkerton, Senior Director of Legal Services. She's going to talk to us about how we provide legal support to clients. Maybe you could start, Andrea, by just educating, because you have a unique role at CVIC. No one else has this job except you. So tell us a little bit about what you do for the agency.
I represent our advocacy clients primarily in court. So I represent them in any civil legal need they have that's related to the sexual assault or domestic violence or stalking that they've experienced. That ends up being primarily a lot of divorces and custodies, a lot of protection orders, restraining orders, things like that. The number one thing we look at is how lethal, how dangerous someone's situation is. And that's the number one thing we look at when we are selecting, if you will, which cases I'm able to take. But yeah, so I'm actually in court with people. I'm a licensed attorney. I'm representing them. I, give people advice, kind of just do everything we can to work hand in hand with our advocates to help win legal situations.
And it's such an important part of what we do. And I'm so grateful that you're here and that we have this service in-house. How do the clients get connected to you?
I get clients primarily through referrals from our advocates. So I am part of the advocacy program here at CVIC. I work very closely with all of our advocates. So even just by calling our main line at CVIC and asking to speak with an advocate and start talking about your legal problem and ask about our legal services, from there, the advocate will know what to do.
What types of clients would qualify for the services? Because you can't do everything, right?
Right. So someone does have to have experienced domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, or stalking, and that does have to be directly related to their legal need. What we see a lot of is someone in a physically abusive situation wanting to get a divorce and custody action started, or they were served with divorce and custody paperwork and are needing to defend themselves or try to respond to that action. And what do they do next?
What is the importance of legal services, for a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault? We also know that court and the law can be used as a tool against victims as well.
Yeah, especially in divorce and custody cases, power is such a huge part of domestic violence, power and control. And when someone potentially starts to feel that power slipping away, sometimes starting that divorce case is actually one way to, it sounds counterintuitive, but is one way to kind of maintain that power. It's another way to threaten that I still have this power. You're trying to leave. I'm going to keep this power. You're going to see the court is going to agree with me. I'm going to get these kids. You're not going to be able to do anything. And so it sounds counterintuitive, but it is actually a pretty common mechanism to use the court as another way to maintain that control. Another thing that comes up is either false accusations of domestic violence against our clients and using those for findings of domestic violence to try to get custody or to try to get restraining orders or protection orders against our clients, or even using accusations of domestic violence where it was actually violence used as self-defense in the same situations to try to get custody or restraining orders or something like that. Again, all those are mechanisms of using the court to try to maintain that power and control. And if someone has a custody order saying, I get to keep these kids, what are the chances that that victim is going to leave that situation? It just makes it that much more difficult.
Well, and I'm just so grateful you're there for our clients and the advocacy team. You partner heavily with our advocates as well. Just divorce is hard even without interpersonal violence and just so complicated. Can you also talk about some of the other legal roles that you play at the agency?
I am part of the DEIA committee that's doing some really great work at the agency. We're really excited to see that. We just started a language access committee that I'm really excited to see how we can improve language access for our clients and the ability to primarily get access to interpreters and translated documents is a big need in our community.
We should probably do a whole dub talk on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And how about, I'm curious, you've been with us well over 7 years now. What keeps you engaged? It's tough work.
Yeah, the main thing is the clients. I think all of us have the tough stories that stick with us that don't go the way we want. But I think what sticks with us more than anything is the relief and the weight that physically comes off of someone's shoulders when that protection order is granted is you can't describe it until you see that in court. And I know the advocates would agree with me. It's visible. It's a visible reaction you can see in someone when that protection order is granted, when the divorce is granted, when they're granted custody, when they're believed, especially by the court.
I love working with you. I'm so grateful you're here. I know someone with your talent is also highly chased for talent, so we've been fortunate to have you here. I hope we can continue to grow your talents, and I just really appreciate all you're doing for our clients.
Thank you. Always happy to be here.
Thank you.